Hello everyone, hope you're doing good. This is going to be a continuation of the past video we had about VLAN. The topology before you is the very topology used in the previous video where we discussed about VLAN configuration, that is, creating VLANs and assigning them to the rest of the ports. The previous video, which I recommend if you've not yet watched, you can go back and watch it. We were able to create 3 VLANs within this switch. We created VLAN 10 with the name students, created VLAN 20 with the name faculty, and created VLAN 30 with the name guest. And if we come and check inside this switch, we'll be able to see that we have those VLANs. This is a management PC we're using. So when I head over to this PC and I check off on my terminal, okay, and I go into the enable mode. That's where I am. I can say show VLAN brief. I hit enter. So you're able to see that we're having VLANs 10, 20, and 30. 10, 20, and 30. VLAN 10 is taking up interfaces from fast Ethernet 0/1 to fast Ethernet 0/3. And VLAN 20 is taking up interfaces from fast Ethernet 0/5 to fast Ethernet 0/8. And VLAN 30 is taking up interfaces from fast Ethernet 0/10 all the way to fast Ethernet 0/13. That's a very quick recap of our last video. Now, today, what you want to do is, given the fact that these two switches are within the same network environment, and we want again to have VLANs 10, 20, and 30 in this other very same switch, it is very tiresome for us to come again and create these VLANs in this switch the way we did this other side. Yet we already have those VLANs in this switch. So Cisco thought it wise that in a scenario like that, why don't we create a protocol that will do that for us? And that brings me to a new protocol called VTP, or the Vlan Trunking Protocol. What the Vlan Trunking Protocol does for you is, it will automatically get the VLANs you've created in this switch over here and replicate them inside this other switch. Then your role will be to assign the respective ports those VLANs created for you in this switch. But before we achieve that, a few things have to be in the background. That is, VLAN operates in 2 modes in a switch. I mean, VTP operates in 2 modes within a switch. A switch is either a VTP server or a VTP client. The VTP server is the one that replicates or that distributes the VLAN files to the rest of the client. It's recommended you that within the network you have only one VTP server, then the rest can be set clients. So in this case, I'm going to use this switch over here as a VTP server, and then this will be a client. Before I go into configuring VTP, I want you to witness what I have within this switch. Let me transfer this console to this switch over here, and then I'll head over to this, come back and refresh the terminal. Right now, I go to the privileged mode, and I say show VLAN brief. I hit enter. You realize that we are only having the default VLAN, that is VLAN 1, and all interfaces are belonging to that very default VLAN. Now, what we are going to do by the end of this video, we should be having VLAN 10, 20, and 30 within this very same switch, and then all we shall do is to assign the respective ports within this switch to the respective VLANs. Hopefully that's clear. So let the music begin. I'm heading over to my server, so I'm shifting my console, my VTP server over here. So configuring VTP is as simple as this. Let me head over there and then go to the terminal. Okay, so I go to the global configuration mode, that is the terminal of conf. Then I say VTP since VTP since we're going to make this switch of ours the server. So I'll come and say VTP mode, then I'll say server. Now, by default, all switches are in VTP server mode. So that's why you see that the device is already VTP server. Okay, but just as of confirming, I have to do that. So after turning it into a VTP server, I need to create a domain into which those VLANs will be created. So VTP domain. Then I call my domain any name of my choice, like I can call it cisco.com. Then I hit enter. So it configures the VTP domain from null to cisco.com. You are free to put here any domain of your choice. Probably you can use your name, anything you want. Okay. Then after giving the domain, I just come and I say VTP, then password. Okay. VTP password. I give it a password of my choice. I'm giving this Cisco 2020 as the password of my Vlan Trunking Protocol. Then I press enter. Okay. So setting the VLAN database password to Cisco 2020. Now, this is my server. Now, when I go back to this other client here, when I come to this client I'll put him under the same domain that is being owned by the server, and I also give him the same VTP password. Then I shall make this link between this switch and this switch a trunking port. Remember, last time when we were making these pieces access the VLANs in this switch, we made these ports here access ports, switchboard mode, then access. Okay. Now let's head over and finish up this. Okay. So almost I'm done with the server. Now let me change over to the client. That's basically enough for us to have our VTP set up for us in the server. Now let's head over to the client. So I'm migrating this console over here to the client, and then I'll come here, refresh my terminal. Okay. So then I go to the global configuration mode. Okay. I say VTP mode. Now I change this from the server mode to the client mode. So VTP mode client. I hit enter. So setting device VTP client mode. After turning it into a client, then I'll come and I say VTP domain. Remember, I said you have to use the same domain. So my domain is cisco.com. Then I hit enter. Okay, then I come, I say VTP password. Then my password should also be the same as the one of my server. So it is Cisco 2020. Then I hit enter. Okay. So I've put my client under the same domain as my server, which is cisco.com. And then I've also set the password to be the same as that of the server, Cisco 2020. And by me just doing that, I'm almost done with setting up my client. However, if I go back to my VVG mode and I say show VLAN brief, I hit enter, you realize that these VLANs are not yet propagated. So our last step is this. We are coming over back to this other switch and then make this port here a trunk. Okay, make this port a trunk such that it can transfer traffic from multiple VLANs. So I'm coming back to it. And I refresh my panel. Okay. Okay, then I come and I what's the name of this interface over here? This interface is gigabit 0/1 gig 0/1. So I go to interface gig 0/1. So I go to interface g 0/1. Hit enter. So I say switchboard mode. But this time around, instead of turning it into an access port, I have not turned it into a trunk. Okay, into a trunk. Switchboard mode, then trunk. and I hit enter. Give it a few minutes as this port is going down and then coming up. So in a few minutes, you're going to see that we've propagated the VLANs which were inside here into this other client of ours. So within this process, the switch and the server and the client are trying to look out for the new changes. So when this turns back green completely, we shall now check once again. Okay. Sometimes it might take about a minute or a few seconds for the VLANs over here to propagate into this other switch. Now the beauty of this is every time I create a new VLAN inside this switch here, it will automatically be propagated into the client. My new role will be to assign that very same new VLAN into the respective port that I want. So right now, I am going to connect these PCs to this switch over here as the negotiation is going on. Then we shall come back. So let me pick my straight through cable, connect to this PC. So this is in VLAN 10. I'm connecting it first /1, which we said from 1 to 3 are going to be to VLAN 10. And I will get this PC, which is going to be in VLAN 20. And I'll connect it to first Ethernet 0/5. Okay, 0/5. Said from 5 to 8 and VLAN 20. Then I'll pick the last cable, connect this PC over here to first Ethernet 0/10. Okay. So after a while, you just need to be patient for a few seconds, and the VLANs will be propagated. You don't need necessarily to turn into this port a trunk, because by default these ports are in dynamic modes. Once you turn on this other side as a trunk, this will also automatically turn into a trunk. And actually, I've not turned this port into a trunk, but after a few seconds, the VLANs from this VTP server of ours have been able to replicate themselves into this other switch. Let's head into the switch and then cross-check and confirm. So if I come over here and then I go to my terminal. Okay, then after that I go in. So this is, I go to the privileged mode and I say show VLAN brief. Hit enter. You see that we already now have VLANs 10, 20 and 30. Wow, counts. Now this is how amazing VTP is. Right now we have VLANs 10, 20 and 30 in our client, which exactly are the same as we have in our server. What you're going to do now is you're going to come back here, create one more VLAN, and without us doing anything, that VLAN will be automatically created on this other side. So let me shift my console from here and move it into our VTP server. Then I will come and refresh my terminal. Okay. Then I go to the privileged mode and go to the global configuration mode. I'm going to create VLAN, for example 40, and I give it a name of others. Hit enter. So I can save that, do right. Then I can go back all the way to the privileged mode by just pressing Ctrl+C. Then I say show VLAN brief. Hit enter. We have VLAN 40 also now created here. But now not this. Without me doing anything, I am going to shift my console cable, move it all the way back to this other switch, which is a client, and then I'll refresh my terminal. Say OK. Because now VTP is already laying out the rest of the game for me, I can come and I say show VLAN brief. Hit enter, and wow, you realize that VLAN 40 is also created there. Yes. So now my only task I have is this. Now I just need to assign these VLANs their respective ports. That is, I go to the global configuration mode For example, we said interfaces FA0/1, FA0/3 belong to VLAN 10, FA0/5/8 belong to VLAN 20, and then we said FA0/10 to 13 belong to VLAN 30. So all I need to do is now come select those interfaces by saying interface range, and then I'm selecting FA0/1 to 3. Then I first of all turn them into access ports, switch port, mode, then I say access. Then I say switch port, access, then VLAN 10. Hit enter. So I'm done with 0/1 to 3. So I can then exit, select another range, int range, and I'm selecting range from FA0/5 all the way to 8. Then I hit enter, then I say switch port mode, then I put them into access mode, then I say switch port, then access VLAN 20. Then that is also done. I exit once again. I go and I select another range, interface range of FA0/10 all the way to 13. Then I hit enter. Then I say switch port mode. Then I say access. Then after that I say switch port access VLAN 30. Hit enter. Then I can save. Do right. Actually, right now, if I come back over here, you should be able to see that this other one is still looking out for VLAN 30. As it's looking for VLAN 30, that's no problem. We can go all the way back to our privileged mode and say show VLAN, then brief. Hit enter. We realize that now we are having VLAN 10 having these interfaces. Likewise, VLAN 20 and VLAN 30, each of them having their respective interfaces, as depending on how you've chosen to assign those interfaces. So that's enough. So now all you need to do is now we can give IP addresses to these PCs in VLAN 10, VLAN 20, and VLAN 30, and they will be able to communicate amongst themselves, so they will not be able to communicate with the rest of these machines. So in the next video, I am going to give them IP addresses, and then we shall enable communication from VLAN 10 to VLAN 20, likewise 20 to 30. So in brief, we are now going to enable communication across all of them. So thank you very much for watching. Let's catch up in the next video where we are going to talk about inter-VLAN routing. Thank you.